I'm going to start off with a question. How many of you here have a dream that's very close to your heart? Something you want to achieve before you die? Just indicate by raising up your right hand. And I can see you all in the gallery as well. In fact, it's most of us in the room, right? So can you imagine a world where every single dream in this room comes to pass? Our dreams cannot be achieved. So I want to invite you today to go on a journey with me. We're going to talk a bit about how to decode the impossible. How do you make impossible dreams come true? And we're going to look at three things. The first thing is dreams. And the second thing we're going to look at are some of the reasons why people don't make their dreams come true. And the third thing, I'm going to be very vulnerable as an undergraduate and the 5 keys I use. So when we talk about the power of impossible dreams, there are people we admire, right? There are people who have achieved amazing things, correct? That you look up to. For me, I'm highlighting only 4 of these people. One is Elon Musk. Anyone? Elon? Yeah. Thank you. A personal hero. The one and only Musk. Elon Musk allowed us to explore space, and he gave us electric cars. Things that people said were literally impossible. I don't know how many of you know of Shola Akinlade. It's very easy for us to think that fintech was something that is common. A few years ago, I was consulting for an e-commerce and to integrate payments into their site. It took us 8 weeks, 2 teams, 2 project managers, and it cost us 150,000 naira. 2 days ago, I integrated Paystack. It took me 2 minutes. Something impossible. For me, another person I look up to is Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She is my standard, right? The first African to lead World Trade Organization. And everyone said it was impossible. And she did. It's Tunde himself, the record breaker. And you can put your hands together for him. He not only broke the record, he raised the bar. 58 hours was how long the record was for playing a tennis match. He took it to 60. Thank you. This reminds me of my favorite quote from Walt Disney. Doing the impossible is a lot of fun. But Les Brown makes us think deeply about the fact that so many people die and they never achieve their dreams, right? The question then is, why do some dreams never ever achieve for people? And I've been a personal coach for over 20-something years. And these are the 3 reasons I have come across a lot. I'm sure you all can guess the first reason. It's fear. I'm afraid to fail. And in some cases, some people are actually afraid to succeed. I'm afraid I won't have enough money. I'm afraid I don't have the background. I'm afraid I don't have the backing. The second reason is focus. A lot of times, we have the idea, we have the dream, but we lose focus. We start thinking of other things instead of staying on that dream until it comes to pass. But you see this last reason? We don't talk about it a lot. But this is the one reason I've encountered the most, and it's your foundation. Some of us here come from amazing families. You have a supportive mother, a supportive father, great aunts, uncles. You have great friends. Have not been so blessed, right? Some of us have abuse in our backgrounds. Some of us have gone through really challenging times. And when you say you don't have money for your dream, you really mean it. Now, the truth is, to be able to make your dream come true, you have to think a little bit about how to overcome these 3 barriers, because they're not barriers created by the world. They're barriers right inside yourself. So, Shay, we've spoken about space. We've spoken about WTO. We've spoken about chess. We've spoken about so many great things. So maybe I should share with you a simpler dream that I achieved. And I called it the impossible dream. I was in my undergrad years, my 4th year in university. And I was doing a 5-year engineering course, computer science and engineering. At that time, I'm not trying to reveal my age. I'm not a dinosaur. But we didn't have YouTube. We didn't have mobile phones. We didn't have Wi-Fi, a lot of things you enjoy now. The first thing in your dream is you have to have fortitude. You have to believe in your dream. Everyone is going to tell you that it's impossible. Everyone is going to tell you the reasons you can't succeed. People are going to list out why it won't happen. Fortify yourself. You have that dream and you believe in it. And from the number of hands we saw raised at the beginning, everybody here wants something, has something that they're thinking they want to achieve. And how did I have fortitude? I made sure that I kept the dream alive, even though I encountered failure, which is the second thing. Failure was a big tool for me. I had graduated with the big dream of working in Microsoft, the #1 tech firm in the world, and I couldn't get a job after NYSC, right? And I kept the dream alive. What did I do? I decided to intern for a company that was helping organizations with productivity tools, and one of those tools was Microsoft. The third thing you need to have is you need to have foresight and ferocity. Foresight is seeing into the future, and there are many ways you can learn how to do this. And ferocity is holding on to your dream. So lo and behold, I had started my first job after NYSC, and I was working with a startup founder. He used to do clone machines. Remember, I'm not a dinosaur, but at that time we didn't have branded systems. And they used to clone machines and sell to enterprises. As soon as I heard Microsoft had landed in a VI in Lagos, I decided that my company was going to sell Microsoft software. I did a business plan, I presented it to the MD, and the MD approved it. After a lot of back and forth, Napa, we don't do software. I said, we're gonna do it because it's my vision. We became a Microsoft partner, and through that, we sold the biggest deal Microsoft had that year in Nigeria. But something else I did was I made sure I understood Microsoft licensing. Today, for those of us that are in tech, you use Office 365, and you're able to subscribe immediately. Back then, licensing was extremely complex. So I made sure I got the necessary skills and understanding of Microsoft licensing. Arguably, I was one of the best licensing experts they had. The fourth thing you need to have is fellowship, which is your networks. As Microsoft landed in the little cubicle in VI, Napa was visiting their office every 2 days. Remember, we were Microsoft partners and we're selling some of the biggest deals. And I built very strong relationships. And the team kept on growing, but they never seemed to announce the roles they had. And this brings me to the last point you need to make your dreams come true, and that is faith. And this is where divine intervention comes in. One day I got a call from somebody in Microsoft, and the person said, Napa, we have your resume in front of us. When can you come for the interview? I said, number one, I didn't know there was an open role. Number two, I'd never dropped my resume with you. So I do not know who God sent, but my resume was there. We fixed the interview, but God was not done. The day of the interview, I was sitting beside a lovely woman from PwC. More experienced than me. After all, I was only like 2 years out of school, and they had kept us waiting for 1 hour. And at the end of the 1 hour, she stood up. She said, they can't insult me like this. I said, yes, they can insult me. This is my dream. And she got up and she left. I did the interview, and I started working in Microsoft. Since that time, I have worked in several other tech companies. I was the first female manager for Cisco Nigeria. I was the first Black leader for Google Customer Solutions. I was the first Black leader for Amazon Web Services startups for Middle East, Africa, and Turkey. So the truth is, what spawned one little dream was replaced by bigger dreams because I had the fortitude, the resilience to be able to go after what I wanted. And this is the same model I use for the different companies I've built, for the different products I've built. Because once a dream is placed in my heart, my goal is to bring it out. So as I close, I have a question for you all. What would you do if you were not afraid? When you raised your hand at the beginning of this talk, and I asked which of you have a dream, and with a lot of energy and strength, you put your hand up. The question is, how are you going to mitigate the fear to start? How are you the focus to be able to achieve it? And how are you going to work on your foundations to make sure you're built for success? Thank you very much.